Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the technical session 2C. I'm Harsh Soni, moderator of this session. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the first series of World Conference on Information Systems for Business Management through Zoom. This series is organized in extension to the ICT Forest Week conference series. There's a special note for the presenters that you will be given 12 minutes for the presentation and 3 minutes for the question and answers. And on 10 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder to conclude your presentation. I hope you will all enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. And there's another request to all the participants that you may all please stay connected with us till the closing remarks. And if you have any query or any update, you can write it to me in the chat box. Now, before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chair for this session, Professor Paras Kothari. And Professor Paras Kothari is presently working as a professor in Techno India NGR Institute of Technology. He is having a long academic pathway of 23 years of working with various capacity in prominent institutions of Gujarat and Rajasthan. He received his PhD from Faculty of Management Studies, Mohanlal Sukhadiya University. His primary research interests are in the areas of planning, controlling, and development of an IT project. He is a person with strong communication, interpersonal learning, and organizing skills, matched with ability to manage stress, time, and people effectively. His research domain includes software engineering, data science, and EV. Welcome, sir. And our next session chair is, yes, sir.
I said thank you, Harsh. Thank you.
Okay. Our next session chair is Professor Samiksha Shukla. She is an associate professor in Christ University, Bangalore, and she is a certified AWS educator. Along with that, she is mentoring AI and healthcare projects in association with professor from Stanford University. Her core expertise in computational security, artificial intelligence, and healthcare domain. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, now I would like to start with the presenter. Our first presenter is Chintal Upendra Rawal, and she is presenting on predicting adverse reaction of COVID-19 vaccine with the help of machine learning.
Thank you.
Presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone present over here. I am presenting my study predicting adverse reaction of COVID-19 vaccine with the help of machine learning algorithms. Here is the outline of the presentation. I will go for the introduction, then I will describe about the data, what problem statement I was working on, what methodology I have used, and few important things related to this domain. Adverse drug reactions, as defined by the WHO, are unintended and undesired effects of the drugs used for the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of disease. In the light of ever-increasing number of medications available, it should come as no surprise that such reactions are extremely common nowadays. The incidence statistics vary considerably depending upon the method by which the data are derived and the nature of the population under study. Estimates, however, range that 2 to 7% of the hospital inpatients are suffering through this adverse drug reactions, and they are much costlier to report and identify and predict and hazardous symptoms because this reaction sometimes lead into the mortality of a patient. Although most reactions here are mild, but sometimes very, very severe, considering the morbidity and the occasional mortality over here. So in the study, using the features data in the data set, we have predicted the adverse reactions caused by the COVID-19 vaccination. We have collected the data from the various vaccine adverse event reporting system So VERS is a passive reporting system, meaning that here the reports about the adverse events are not automatically collected, but it require a report to be filed to the VERS system. That report can be filed by anyone, a doctor, even a patient who is experiencing an adverse event from the drug or vaccination that the patient has taken. So VERS report can be submitted voluntarily by anyone, including the healthcare providers, patient, or family members. Reports vary in quality and completeness. They often lack details and sometimes have information that contains error. When evaluating the data from VERS, it is important thing to note that for any reported event, no cause and effect relationship has been established. Reports of all possible association between the vaccine and adverse events, possible side effects are filled in VERS. Therefore, VERS collect the data on any adverse event following vaccination. It can be coincidental or truly can be caused by the vaccine. This is a very important point I have to consider when I was collecting the data from the VERS. There are three individual files that was available: VERS data, VERS VEX, and VERS symptoms. The symptoms file was having the adverse reactions caused by the vaccination. But again, it can be coincidental or truly caused by a vaccine. To obtain the entire data set, we establish a primary relationship between those tables. There was a field vaccine ID. So using that particular field, we established the primary relationship and we query between these three files and get our final data set. So for investigation over here in this study, we have looked at adverse reactions reported for the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine in VERS database. In this study, we have taken information about patients' age, demographic, height, weight, other demographics, concomitant drugs, other that are known as medications, physical conditions about the patients, and then we have predicted the adverse drug reactions. Few examples of adverse drug reactions can be gastrointestinal, cardiac, then we can say that headache, rashes from the vaccines that can we have predicted over here. Machine learning methods like k-nearest methods, random forest, support action, machine decision tree, naive Bayes are used to make this prediction. We have considered especially the core algorithms which are helpful with the collinearity, like machine decision tree, random forest, other than linear regression and logistic regressions, which are not very good with the collinearity, because we here, when we consider the data of a patient, the data is highly correlated. And for the correlated data, we thought that it would be better if we consider the algorithms who work better with the collinearity concept. So first step was that our data set was 8640 rows and 40 columns, 40 features were there. There is a huge a value for a feature. Missing values were there because, as I stated previously, that reports are submitted voluntarily and they are vary in quality and completeness. So missing values we need to handle that. We handle with the help of a simple imputer class of scikit-learn library. Then we encoded the data using the one-word encoder class of scikit-learn library, both independent and dependent video. The third step was feature scaling. As the values were the height and weight and other demographics and other values of medication dosages, they were varying in many magnitudes. So we use feature scaling techniques to standardize the data, independent features within a fixed range. Then after, the data set was split into training and testing. 70% data was used for train and 30% data was used for testing purpose. Feature selection was very important because we were posed with the 40 features and we do not have any idea which features play an important role for the prediction over here. So feature selection technique we have used over here was Chrysler, and on that first selection was made. After that, we have observed the correlations and the features which were related, which were having a high correlation value. We have used that particular features for predicting out results of our algorithm. Another thing we have considered over here was for the correlations, we have used Pearson method and fixed correlation methods to have the values of correlation. Then machine learning techniques we used, as I said, that was a k-nearest neighbors, random forest, decision tree, support vector machine, and weight bias. And following are the results of my study that we are able to predict those adverse drug reactions, the symptoms mentioned in the file, with the following accuracies for the following algorithms. Nearest neighbor was having 94%, near random forest 96%, decision tree 95%, support vector machine was 94%, near Wales was 59%. It was performing worst algorithm for the study. We, as I told, the collinearity weight bias is not considered, that might be a reason for this algorithm not performing up to the mark. And we were able to predict not only for one patient, for multiple patients, the most common adverse drug reactions like cardiac arrest, hepatobiliary, gastrointestinal, rashes, headache, etc. Thank you. So this was about my study. If any questions, anybody? Any questions?
Okay, Chintal.
Yes, sir.
Exactly, I'm not having a direct question related with this, but do you have taken some of the factors based on which you have identified these factors, or can say these reactions of these reactions of the adverse drugs?
Yes, sir.
What was the criteria to select the drugs and the actions which is considered as the adverse reaction?
Okay, sir. Sir, I'm a consultant at CROs like Lambda, Abbott, and all. I have consulted few of the pathologists over there, and constantly in a connection of 2 to 3 pathologists, they have suggested that this might be the adverse drug reactions. Or more than that, these reports are also available at the gate of WHO and FDA. So we can directly download the data because this reports are gone through a huge process, the starting from the pathologists, then doctors and all, and they have clearly mentioned these are the adverse drug reactions. So in the data set, what you get is also mentioned that these are the symptoms after taking that particular drug.
Okay, so as you said that you have taken 3 files, from the VERS.
Yes.
So did you find some of the systems are common with the vaccination, and some systems are common with the data, or some other set of relation which you have, you could establish between them?
So for the Pfizer medicine, fever was the most common one, rash was the most common one. But usually the symptoms we have observed, what we have derived from in the paper in the detail, that many patients were hospitalized, which were above the age of 50 or 55. So this adverse drug reactions were more in the people which were having comorbidity and which were of the age after we can say old age people. And many of the mortality rates were also in the patients which were having the age above 60. So old age people were, like before taking vaccine, they were not aware, but it resulted into hospitalization, and some of the cases resulted into the mortality. That is mentioned in the data set also about it. And after we have placed the data and same comorbidity, we have placed it for the prediction, we've also got the same results that the patients about the age or having a comorbidity are more susceptible to having an adverse drug reaction from this COVID-19 vaccine by Pfizer.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good luck. Please proceed.
So I have a couple of questions to you. See, first thing is you are claiming that the random forest is the best performing algorithm. So, as per you, why random forest is giving? Because you have already experimented it, right?
Because ma'am, this random forest and the season trees and all kind of algorithms, collinearity. While I was working and I asked few pathologists about these things that collinearity, how much important is that in this kind of medical data sets? So when we discuss to the person which is in the field, they tell us that in medical data sets, what more important is the collinearity. So other algorithms, they didn't work or they might have not worked because they were not able to establish the correlationship between the data that was present.
Okay. See, the thing is, right now you are claiming that you have domain expertise from pathologist. Have you consulted any doctor who were treating those patients?
See, ma'am, for Pfizer, I have not consulted because in India the data was very difficult to calculate. Even if we have CDSCO over here, the data is not reported as frequently as we have to report it. So in India, it is reported. The reporting is very less. So I don't have data which was in it. So it is a retrospective study. We can say that. So based on the data, I have shown it to the doctor because many of here are not treating that particular things. In Indian patients, we won't find reporting about a minor event. Even a fever, we won't report it to any of the organization who is involved in the work of pharmacovigilance.
See, the thing is, we are talking about adverse drug reaction, and we have seen in India also there were lot of mortality, lot of casualty because of drug reaction. So, what, as per your study, which drug was the most prominent to lead to the adverse reaction which led to death?
No, here the drug means it was COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, so COVID-19 vaccine was responsible. But again, we cannot claim that because I say that previously that these reports are generally reported by an even a family member. So even if you have taken a paracetamol and then after you have taken a COVID-19 vaccine, which one is responsible cannot be completely told. But this is a reporting that we know if you are taking a true drugs together, then there might be an adverse drug reaction. So some of us might be taking medicines for blood pressures and for diabetes.
Okay, so what is your conclusion? So means it's okay. We have got it. I was in confusion stating that COVID-19 treatment. So you are working on COVID-19 vaccine. So now I would like to know what is your conclusion? Like with COVID-19 vaccine, which were the adverse medicine effect? What is the conclusion?
I would like to finally conclude over that the adverse reactions by the study what has provided us was gastrointestinal, hepatobiliary, cardiac arrest, more fever, headache. These were the common symptoms of taking COVID-19 vaccination. But this is very important to report. We have to report all this to WHO and FDA. Otherwise, this drug won't get the permission to launch in the market. Even after it is launched, this particular vaccine, there is a post-marketing surveillance that needs to be carried out.
Yes. I understood, ma'am. See that the question is, we as a common without non-medical professional, we understand fever, body pain, headache. All these are very common. So when we are doing research, we should come with a conclusion which is substantiating our research work, right?
This was very important work so that in future if we want to, I would like to conclude that in future if we want to launch some drug into the market, then this kind of machine learning algorithms, rather than testing on the patients, we can first have the predictability that what adverse effect it is going to have on a patient rather than going directly testing on the humans.
See, madam, I am not asking you that. I am asking, see, there are few commons. Your machine learning will definitely predict fever, headache and all, right? But there are few adverse effect which were not reported, have not seen. So how your machine learning will support that?
If it is not in the data set, then how we will, if it is not reported, then how will we be predicting that particular thing? See, if what we put in the data, that is what the machine learning algorithm is going to give us as an output.
Exactly. So your machine learning should give us some prediction apart from this,
And
apart from the regular updates like fever.
yes, if unknown thing is not there. But see, for medical data sets, I again tell that it is a very, first of all, to make a data, and there is an app committee sets over there to validate that data. So if, for the medical data sets and or the medical predictions, what I have been working previously, it is shown that if the data is complete and validated, then only we try to predict
Yes,
it.
first, I agree with you. You need to verify first, and your model should also be validated. Whether your model is verified by any medical professional.
Yes, ma'am. My guide, Dr. Sachidanand Pandey, he is a chief
Yes,
pathologist.
he is also medical professional.
He's a medical professional, chief pathologist. Guide.
Huh?
One of the guides. I have three. One from pharmacy, one from the.
Okay. So that claim you might have already mentioned that it is verified by this medical professional in your paper, right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir, for the question, and thank you, dear presenter, for the great presentation. Now I'd like to invite our next presenter, Hardik Kumar S. Jaiswal, and he's presenting on plant leaf disease detection and classification using spectroscopy. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
My screen is visible, sir?
Yes, it is. Please.
So, good afternoon to all. Myself, Hardik Jaiswal, and I'm going to deliver the presentation on my plant leaf disease detection and classification using spectroscopy. These are the outlines which I'm going to cover in my presentation. Is the why I'm motivating to do this research, research objective, literature review, implementation, result, and discussion. So these are the list of abbreviations which I am using in paper. First, we'll go with the introduction to plant diseases. Plants are classified among the most different categories, and the symptoms in the plant leaf is varying
Sorry to
according to
interrupt you, but can you please make it full screen?
Sorry, sir. It's a full screen.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now it's perfect.
Is it okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Fine. So these three different types of plant diseases are found in the papers. That is fungal diseases, bacterial, and virus diseases. Fungal diseases are the one of the largest number of the plant pathogens are responsible for the range of the serious plant diseases, and because of the fungal diseases, and these fungal diseases are most commonly found on the vegetables. These are some examples of the fungal diseases. There's a leaf blight and ring spot. Bacterial diseases. Bacterial diseases are different examples of the bacterial diseases: a leaf spot, scape, anchors, etc. These are the bacterial spot, as you can see on screen. Virus diseases, one of the most common and difficult to analyze diseases, so viral diseases. Examples of the viral diseases are the yellow diseases and the leaf curl virus. So these are the common types of diseases which I have found. Actually, I have referred more than the 50 of papers, and out of that, I have found the types of diseases which I listed here. Why I am motivating to carry out this research? The most important thing is because of the less and inappropriate delayed detection in the disease causes the heavy loss in the crop. So I wish to make one system which will helpful to the farmers to detect the diseases in the early stage. Research objective to carry out this research is I wish to make one design a system which will detect the crop diseases and pest accurately. The problem statement is the traditional algorithm right now. The many researchers are carry out the research with the help of the imaging technology, let's say computer vision or machine learning, deep learning, and various different algorithms they have applied. But most of the cases, because of the accurate database, not accurate of the database, not of some proper segmentation technique, so they are not able to classify and the plant diseases with the higher accuracy rate. So these are the research issues which I have found, and I'm working with the three major issues, that is accuracy, classification, and time consuming. So my research is I'm going to classify the plant diseases with the help of spectroscopy. So we will first of all go with this. What is the spectroscopy? If we understand the basics of the spectroscopy, it's a matter of reflection. While we'll throw the signals and we will receive some reflection on the basis of the spectroscopy principle. So these are the principles of the spectroscopy, as you can see on the screen. That is the light beam is there, that absorption, and then the reflection is there. So these are the electromagnetic spectrum, their frequency range, their wavelength range, and then types of transition. I'm working with this most probably visible and near infrared ranges. So I'm working with the two major species. These are the mango and the lime. In the mango, I'm classifying the anthracnose, sooty mold, and the powder mildew. In the lime, I'm going to classify the sooty mold and canker. I have collected the data set with the help of Anand Agriculture University. As you can see, the leaf of mango and the lime. These are the GPS coordinate. I have collected the data from the Anand Agriculture University. I carry out my research at the Charusat Space Center. And these are the some peak of I'm carry out the research. And this is the configuration of my spectrometer, or you can say as a pixel sensor also. This covers the majorly 8 different band from 425 nanometer to 695 nanometer. I carry out some literature survey. So in the literature survey, I refer more than 50 of papers. So I classified among these like different spectral range which the researcher used, and which are the different algorithms they have used with the accuracy and whatever their journal and the configuration conference name. So from that the literature review, I can found that most of the cases, whether the regression analysis, whether the KNN algorithm or principal component analysis, they have achieved 90 to 94% accuracy with some different visible near infrared in the spectral range. So this are the flow of implementation. And when I implemented, I have found this result is, so according while we use the spectrometer and we capture the spectral data, it can be easily classify the different diseases. You can see in the right side top of the figure, diode 4 versus diode 2 graph I have taken. So canker, healthy, and sooty mold can be easily separable with the help of the spectrometer results. This is my bivariant analysis. I have taken the different 8 diode samples. So 8 diode versus 8 diode. So I can easily separable the different diseases. And these are some machine learning equations which are applied, and then I can found that is with the help of the different machine learning technique, whether it's an AVA based support vector machine, random forest, or KNN, where I can able to achieve the 99% accuracy. And the conclusion of this research is the research is focused on applicability of the spectroscopy for the detection of mango diseases like the anthracnose, powder mildew, and sooty mold. And I am using the range that is the 400 nanometer to 1000 nanometer for process the sample leaves. And this result can show that the VNIR spectroscopy can be helpful to detect and classify the different plant leaf diseases, which are these are the reference which I have seen, which I have used in my carry out this research. Thank you.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Paras sir, I'm just Paras sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
You have any question?
No, I don't think so, because it's not going.
Okay.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Hardik, it was a good presentation. I can see that you have done extensive research about the disease. So that is something which I liked in your presentation. And I have one query actually.
Yes, ma'am.
See this, when we have identified, like you have different type of plant disease like bacterial, viral, so
Yes,
many types.
yes.
So after your detection, see we have detected, what are the recommendations which you have you made any recommendation in your paper?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm carry out this research since last 3 years with the imaging and non-imaging methodology. Before to deliver this presentation, I have given presentation to my guide, which is the using of the computer vision technique. Now, in computer vision technique, the noise it's one of the most effective parameters while we are classify the diseases. So, what is my recommendation is while we are using the spectroscopy instead of the computer vision technique to capture an image to make the data set and classify the image, what I would recommend is a spectroscopy. It's quite helpful. In a spectroscopy, especially while with the 400 to you can consider from 398 to 800 nanometers, we can easily capture the or we can easily identify the diseases, or we can easily separable with the healthy and the not healthy plant. Actually, some of the diseases look like we cannot see from our eyes also. So in that cases, the spectroscopy can be helpful to classify, or you can consider separable the different diseases.
Okay, so what I will suggest, like as a reader of the paper, what I would be expecting in the paper, you might have added in the paper, I have not seen the paper, that let us say I have your result is bacterial disease. So what could be the recommendation to overcome that generic recommendation to overcome that bacterial disease? Maybe if you can add it over here, or maybe you can have an extension of the paper in
that
which you
that, that is
can.
the extension of a paper. Let me
Huh,
explain them.
huh.
If we have a fever, then we will take a paracetamol, or the doctor suggested us to go with this the like let's say if you have a bacterial infection, then doctor suggested azithromycin. If you have viral fever, then doctor suggested amoxicillin. But in the case of the farmer, they are using the common thing. They are not separately use the different medicine for the plant, or you can say the pesticide. They are using the common thing for the plant. So according to the diseases they are not treating, then they are not getting the accurate result in the from the crop. So my extension would be what, according to the diseases, I will recommend that these are the features or these are the medicine that you may applicable to your plant. And the second thing, before, like let's say if we will take a case of mango, then we may observe many times that after the coming or when we are late disease detection, it causes the heavily losses in the crop. So if we will take a samples and if we are able to suggest it to the farmers that in the early stage you may detect it, then it is really good fruitful results for the farmers.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Jaiswal,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
a very small doubt is there that, as you said that you have done the proper segmentation with the spectroscopy. So what are the parameters, or can say
No,
what
no, no.
factors you considered?
Sir, yes, sir. Segmentation, the features will not applicable in this spectroscopy.
Okay.
Segmentation is especially issues which will be which will be considered as a hot topic or research issues in the computer vision technique while we capture an image. So at that time, the segmentation will be required to furnish
Okay.
the sample to furnish the whatever I can show you. Uh, these are the spectral sample we have collected. Let's say 60,000 rows multiplied by 9 columns, 8 diode versus 8 diode, right? So in that case, we identified the if any kind of the unambiguity in data or any kind of noise, then we may reflect with a simple filter also. So in that case, our segmentation should not be applicable.
In this case, every column is having one different characteristic of it, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and these are classified with these three label categories like canker, healthy, and sooty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you. Please proceed. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Should I stop sharing?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you, sir and ma'am, for the questions to the presenter, and thank you, presenter, to the great presentation. So now I'd like to invite our next presenter, Mukil MV, and he's presenting on sacred spaces enduring pro-environmental behavior, a case study from Kerala campus.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
My topic is on sacred spaces enduring pro-environmental behavior, a case study from Kerala Temple. My co-authors are Adira R, MSW student, Tarak Rashid, Civilizology, Director of Civilizology, and Bhavani Rao, UN Chair on Women Empowerment and Gender Equality. And we are from Amrita School for Sustainable Development, Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Amritapuri, India. So to my topic, as we know, in this Anthropocene era, we need new strategies that are consistent in protecting the natural environment. Therefore, learning more about the culture or tradition that has played an essential role in environmental protection for decades is necessary. The construction of Indian temples began before 800 CE. Until now, most of these temples were consistent in conserving the ecosystem. In India, depending upon the community and the geography of the place, the temples are diverse in their architecture and functioning.
Of information. No stop. All the information is easily.
All the temples, other to the regional ancient Indian architecture treatise based on Vastu Shastra, which is an ancient Indian science on dwelling. And in the background study, I have looked into temples and traditional eco-conservation strategies, which is across the globe. In India, we can see sacralization of nature, like sacred mountains, sacred water bodies, sacred forests, sacred animals, sacred flora and fauna, and so on. That temples, rituals, and traditions motivate people to protect the environment. There are studies based on that. And temples also sustain natural resources such as rivers, ponds, forests, and hills. And similarly, across the globe, as we've seen in Indonesia, Subak system practice ecological responsible agriculture. And Ubud temple, which is more similar to my study area, where humans and monkeys coexist there, with numerous humans providing food to the monkeys. A similar culture can also be observed in the Shastangota temple that I am looking into. And you can also look into, Nepal communities where there is an effective water conservation methods. The temple in the community preserves freshwater rock sprouts that conserve the community's water management system through rituals and activities. Many sacred groves and natural water resources are conserved by faith among the Bhil communities in Rajasthan. And we can see Kalpa Deva, which is the tree deity, and it has been recorded in Panga Jain's books. Now UN also looking into faith-based organization towards environmental pro-environmental activity and pro-environmental behavior. So temple landscapes and environmentally favorable behaviors. Towards 600 CE, evidence of tree and serpent worship has been found in India. Even today, along with the major shrine of structural temples, an area named Sarpakav, sacred groves, would be set aside for snake worship. These sacred groves are pristine habitat capable of preserving biodiversity and maintaining ecological balances. It can be found mostly in Kerala, and Kerala temples also have a Tirthakulam temple pond, generally found in the temple's northeast corner. Northeast corner and all these directions are totally based on Vastu Shastra, and there and in Kerala we can observe Vana Devatas, where forest deity and people tree, worshipping people tree, people circumambulating people tree, and in Mahashir fish at Varadayani temple, which has been noted in UN article. And Eta, one fish, Tirumakkal, which is considered to be the son of God. So the people over there, they may not fish in that particular area. And there were studies which reported that lots of aqua biodiversities in the water. And while looking into the behavior and eco-conservation strategies, we can find that Bandura, 1989, he was said that like in humans, the imposed environmental and personal factors have a significant impact on behavior, like culture, formal and informal curricula, practice, etc., has an influence on people actions. So environmental, emotional connect. Another thing is noted by I forgot the person, connectedness to nature, and there is a scale for that too. Like there is an altruistic value by bridging the gap between self-identity and the nature. Another important factor that sustains ecology is having a sense of place or environmental identity, defining as the feeling of dwelling subject to places or landscapes, its aesthetic values and bonds. Studies show interpersonal trust among tourists in place attachments and pro-social and pro-environmental behavior. So the objective of the study is to understand the impact of temple culture on psychological parameters that influence pro-environmental behavior and eco-conservation strategies. The study also investigates how these parameters change during the COVID pandemic, when people's access to temple is restricted. So here what research methodology that I have used is a qualitative analysis, grounded theory method, where we have done telephonic interview with the people and we have observed the place, been there for several months, and created a semi-structured questionnaire and have a interview with the people who are native and are visiting the temple regularly and actively participating in the conservation projects. So initially, the factors affecting the eco-conservation strategies of the temple were analyzed from qualitative data, and the factors influencing the eco-conservation strategies during the COVID period were identified. So this is the study area, which is at the southern part of India and southern part of Kerala too. There you can find 200 monkeys inhabit the Shasangota temple, which is our study area and its premises. The visitors of the temple and the people living in the community consider monkeys as the divine return of prime deity. In northwest part of the temple, there is a dining hall, semi-sheltered, which is an open building where the monkeys used to get the prasad or the food for their daily this thing. In ancient Indian scriptures, these actions can be referred to as Bhuda Yajna, and there were management papers on that. And the whole temple is encircled by foliage, and there is a lake, Shasangota Lake, which is the biggest freshwater lake in Kerala, and the people who live over there respect the fish Eta, which is a special kind of fish in the lake, and they believe that it is the worshipping deity's holy return. So the same place can be seen in Ramsar site. And it is also mentioned that in the Ramsar site, the ancient Shasta temple is an important pilgrim center. So here we can see the picture where offering traditional Indian feast to monkeys during Onam, which is an auspicious day for Keralites at their dining hall, and several in temple festivals also. The people over there go and feed the monkeys. So the findings of this particular paper is the findings indicate that the temples can generate eco-conservation approaches that are socio-psychologically relevant to humans, such as connectedness to nature, sense of place, value, beliefs and norms, and general awareness. The temple also serves as a management hub for pro-social activities and environmental decision-making. So well, going detail into it, pro-social activities. So when we are having interaction with people over there, they were telling we have planted many trees in temple compound. For monkeys, we have planted fruits. During the temple festival, we used to clean the shore of the lake where the temple deity is being taken and for our holy bath. And we have created Nakshatra Vanam. Nakshatra Vanam is based on the stars, birth stars. They have created a small forest kind of area. So several collective efforts and eco-restoration projects has been seen over there. But due to COVID, Many of these pro-social activities has been reduced, and general awareness and programs and environmental ethics. Respondents are aware of initiatives like planting trees, avoiding plastics, etc. And they were all aware about June 5th, and they may use to plant a tree nearby the temple. And the temple conserves the natural environment and the existing ecology for decades through the beliefs and associated rituals of the temple, such as restriction on visitors entry into sacred groves. Many of the sacred groves are protected by restrictions. So, and there were also Chandrasekharan, he has done a lot of research on it and have published papers that the biodiversity of that sacred grove. So another thing is kinship towards animals, plants, and nature. This is connectedness to nature. Like I will, one guy told, I will stay in the temple and pray for a while, then go sit beneath a tree and watch the actions of monkeys. It's a peaceful place to be in. The place gives delight to all, and it is like uttering in everyone's. When we look into the dialogues, we can see that. So the temple landscapes such as Shasangot Lake and the uniqueness of Shasangota temple offering food to monkeys, natural foliage, that which invokes a sense of place in each respondent. The respondents also expressed that they want the area to be left undisturbed by human. So another thing, value, beliefs, and norms. As we know, all these things like the Nakshatravanam project, worshipping nature as God, offering food to monkeys, the temple art, cleaning of, maintaining of, lake. Everything has a root which is from the belief. And explicitly also they have mentioned that we all know that God is nature. There was a time when we worship trees, fire, and the wind. It is not about going to the temple to pray. It's also about conserving the forests, mountains, hills, and trees. So and also in in the value system, we can see cultural value system. We can see Vasudeva Sarvam, the supreme being resides in all beings. Vasudeva Kudumbakam, the family of Mother Earth. We all are family of Mother Earth, so we have to do that. And there are Pancha Mahayajna and Sarva Bhuta Hita, the welfare of all beings, and the value orientation of people towards biospheric value, which are associated with the benefits to the ecosystem or biosphere. So Cheval's coined the word biospheric value, but yeah, we can observe such kind of values in their voices. So conclusion, benefits of this particular study: identifying different design elements from temple culture can be used for improving the existing design frameworks, such as design for sustainable behavior and design with intent for communities. Nowadays, sustainable behavior is what designers are mostly looking into, and we can actually contribute by using effectively. We can improve this collective sustainable behavior of the community using this kind of factors. Limitation of the study: the application of regenerating these factors can only be done on sacred spaces having existing values and belief. It should have some certain kind of values and beliefs or sacralization in their mind. To quantify the effect of each psychological factors on pro-environmental behavior, studies using existing psychometric scales on more sample size are required. As it is a qualitative study, we have just put every factors that are affecting this particular pro-environmental behavior, but we need to do more quantification works. I'm actually started doing it among 570 samples, and in future I think like a quantitative studies based on psychometric scales like connectedness to nature, new ecological paradigm. All these things are needed in this area. And many strategies of sustainable behavior has been discussed in ancient Indian temple scriptures and are left unexplored, which can be used for developing new frameworks for sustainable behavior. And I think many of the people have already started doing that, like Rida for design. One has been recently developed by Indica. So these are the references. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mukhil. It was a nice study, and I hope that you will with some more data and some that related with this. And At this point, I must say that this study spread about the ecosystems, about the environmental behavior, and many more factors which can be considered to be attached with the information system or something like machine learning concepts and all. So I wish you all the best for future endeavors, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Masha.
Madam, please. Samiksha, madam.
Sir, I don't have any questions, please. Thank you. Thank you, Mukul.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, dear presenter, for the great presentation. Now I'd like to invite the next presenter, Dipali Virginia Savane. She's presenting on evolution and techniques of automatic tax summarization.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Deepal. Please.
I have shared the presentation. Is it visible to you?
Yes, ma'am. It is.
Okay. With your permission, shall I start, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, please proceed, please.
Good afternoon to the respected committee member. I, Dipali Saune, would like to present my research paper ID, that is 118, entitled with Evolution and Technique of Automatic Text Summarization under the guidance of Dr. Azadeso. These are the agenda of my research topic. The text summarization field belongs to natural language processing. The today's world is a fast growing of information. Most of all the information is easily available on the internet. It is consists of billions of records, which is exponentially growing. The technique of text summarization is dropping the quantity of source document in a compressed version without changing its meaning, or we can say as an original document. And the text summarization helps to generate a summary of lengthy documents. In lengthy document, we can say it is a single document or multi-document. The text summarization is necessary for many applications such as search engine, business analysis, market review, email, tracking patients' medical history, scientific blogs, dialogues, voicemail, and broadcast videos and recording of the meeting. The simple definition we can express in the significant features of text summarization. Summaries must be generated from a single document or multiple document. Summaries should preserve the imperative data of that source document without changing its meaning of the original document. The summaries must be short with effective material. Types of summarization consist of 5 types. That is basically, we can say document-based summarization. In document-based summarization, we can say single document or multiple document. Second one is the generic or domain-specific summarization. In this type of summarization, it's aimed to create a summary which is related with its specific domain. Therefore, it is called as a generic or domain-specific summarization. Third one is the query-based summarization. In this type, it contains only those data which is required by the user, or as per the necessity of user can access that data from the database. It depends on similarity of the sentences and word frequency. Means which words and sentences will be frequently available on that source document, we can collectively consider it in our summary. But the significant strategic approach of the text summarization is two. That is abstractive text summarization and extractive text summarization. In abstractive text summarization, to examine abstractive text can be done by understanding the original text with the help of linguistic method. The main purpose of abstractive text summarization is to develop the relevant summary that may be able to show information in an accurate way that commonly needs highly developed language generation techniques. This method required a deeper analysis of the text summarization with the relevance of the original document or source document. Extractive text summarization. In this type, summary can be classified on the basis of its output type. Means this summary can be focused on the output of that original text. In this extractive summary, select the important sentence. Those are identified from the document of the original document. This summarization gathers important information from original data and groups together without changing its meaning. Means what is the original meaning of the source document, then we can consider it in the summary without changing the meaning of original source document. This is the proposed framework of text summarization. The source manuscript. In the first step, first of all, we will take source manuscript as an input data. Means as a source manuscript, we can take a book's chapter, some stories, which is moral stories, short stories, some blogs, which is available on the internet. These all the material we can consider as a source manuscript. Then we have to apply the tokenization into the sentence and word. Means those data has been considered as a source manuscript. It will be separated into their sentences and words. Denoted single inverted commas. Means whatever the number of lines which is available on that passage or on that chapter, we will identify or we will recognize that all the sentence and words with the single quotation or single inverted commas in the phase of tokenization. Next, the part of speech, POS tagging, such as a noun, proper noun, verb, adverb, adjective. The purpose of POS tagging is helps to recognize what is the exact feature which is available in that source document, such as, for example, there is some actor, there is some location, there is some organization name. With the help of this noun pronoun use of POS tagging part of speech, we can easily identify it. And after that, we are refer the name entity recognition for identifying the particular features of that source document, as like a actor, location, position, activities, what is going in that particular source document. We can use the NER for recognizing the significant feature. Then next one is the feature extraction. In feature extraction, we will we will identify the features on the basis of their specific role in which is included in the original documents. Next one is association among extracted wording. Means those data we have considered as our database as a source manuscript. That time we will identify some significant or imperative feature from that source document, and then we will make a relevance of that source document or that source document's specific feature. We can make a relevance, and at the last we can creation of a summary. Means we can generate the summary on the basis of frequency of sentences and word. The tokenization and POS tagging, it comes under the pre-processing tool, because in the step of tokenization, we can tokenize that sentence word with the single quotation, and POS tagging is helps to identify the what is the noun, what is proper noun, what is the adverb, or what is there is available some location, and adjectives means what is they are going to happening in that particular source document. The feature of summarization is included with the term frequency, location, cue method, title or headline statement, sentence length, similarities, proper noun and proximity. During this research, we have go through some research article, and in that I have analysis some source document, and from that source document, I have applied the pre-processing tool, POS type and tokenization, and from that I have observed or analysis what is the activity is going, what is the person name, what is the organization, what is the position. These are the literature survey. During this research, I have followed some research paper, research article. They have used different techniques. There is also available some lacunas. There is also some future work. I have mentioned in this literature review, that is a author and year, which technique they have used in their paper and how that technique is helpful, which technique is not succeed, then what is the lacunas of that techniques, and what is the future work of that authors in their through their paper. Then, and after that I have finalized my research topic, and then I have decided to do the research article, prepare research article on this topic. These are the literature review. There is used knowledge-based method, machine learning, neural network, feature selection, supervised, unsupervised, extractive technique, fuzzy logic. All the techniques I have referred during my research work. The motivation of the research, there is a quantity of reason included for motivation of behind the text summarization. The ever-increasing availability of online textual database and development of the internet have made of text summarization a major research topic, because the text summarization is helpful for all the users, because within fraction of second they can get the accurate, concise and proper summary within fraction of second, instead of reading all the documents or lengthy documents. The motive to conduct this research is wide availability, that on search engine among them select appropriate
Sorry to interrupt you, but we have
as
last 2
per
minutes.
necessary of user. It consumes the time. To cope up with word association by getting news bulletins, people base investment decision on stock market updates within fraction of seconds. With the help of summary, user can make decision in their stipulated time, because it is a time consuming. To construct module which is technically convenient with highly success rate, and therefore these all are the motivation points or reasons for my research. The methodologies, we have used the methodologies, that is two strategy approach, that is a abstractive summarization approach and extractive summarization approach. Abstractive summarization approach means that is a methodology generally classified on the two credentials. That is, first one is a structure-based approach and semantic approach. In structure-based approach, it is a dispensable original sources from the source document, and the editorial editorial form beginning to end cognitive schemas, such as data mining, standard format, mining convention, ontology, tree structure, guide, corpus, and fetch construction. The next one is semantic based approach. In semantic base, budge in the direction of semantic manifestation.
Dear author,
of-
you have last 1 minute. Please conclude your presentation.
Okay, sir. The conclusion of this research topic is abstractive technique and extractive technique of text summarization is the procedure of creating summary of a source manuscript from the innovative articles, innovative ideas, and we can consider as a n number of source document for analyzing. It is not go through the repetition precisely, the majority significant sentence from original article. The significant and confront assignment of natural language processing. It is denote the extractive and abstractive technique. An extractive summary is assortment of imperative sentence, which is essential key points from the original document. A variety of techniques, extractive approach have emerged last some years, and I have observed this. It is difficult to judge how large amount of better interactive complexity at a judgment or manuscript stage contributes great presentation. The feature extraction is very important part of the extractive technique, because on the basis of feature extraction, we can easily identify, we can easily recognize what is the frequent word, what is the frequently sentence that is playing an important role regarding that document. Then we can calculate highly ranked sentences on the basis of name entity recognition, and in the summary we can consider it as a perfect and concise summary on the basis of feature extraction process. These are the references. Thank you.
Thank you, Nipali. So it was definitely a nice presentation you made, and you have done a good work. In brief, can you explain what are the applications of this text summarization in information system implementation, or can say in information system?
Extractive summarization is on the mostly perfectly based on the feature extraction. Means what is the frequently words which is comes in the source document, then which sentences we have which is tells the most important information regarding that document. Then on the basis of this, extractive technique is helpful for generate the summary.
What kind of applications we can assume in the information system related with this text summarization?
Sir, the application is the POS tagging, and currently we are working on the anaphora resolution. Then I have used the name entity recognition. These all are the important factor of my research, which is mostly performing their role for generating the summary.
So have you ever taken any text or tense, and then you summarized with your process and found any method by which you can check the accuracy and the efficiency of that summarized text?
Yes, sir. At the initial stage, I have considered as a input some short stories, which is tells the we can say it is a moral story. Then through that story, which is I have taken as an input story, then I have count the sentence length. Then I have sort out the what is the maximum sentence length, what is the minimum sentence length. Then what is the noun, what is the proper noun in that source document. Then those noun and proper noun which is available in the source document, I have considered that document as a actor. Then what is the location which is available from noun, then it is some as like a place name, organization name, it is considered as a location. Then
So did you find the same moral from your summarized text, which was given as a moral of the short story, or somehow they were relevant, or can say having some correlation between these two morals, one which is given by the given with the short story, and another is another is coming from your process of text summarization? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, I'm getting. Sir, actually, those method I have referred, that is a summarization percentage is rapidly 50 to 40%. Then I have used the fuzzy logic method. And simultaneously, I also performing some particular means designing the rule for a rule based method means what properly for getting the proper summary, I'm using the rule based method also, and currently I'm analyzing the summary which summarize will be very precise and short summary.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lee, and over to you, madam. Thank you.
See, I have only one question. Which file format will be the input and which file format will be the output of your work?
Ma'am, I have sorted out. One is a notepad, means those input is I have finalized the notepad or Word document, that is, or I have also captured some input from the internet. But for getting the output, I have used the Python. And in Python, that summary is indicate with their paragraph number, line number. But
Okay.
is initially
Thank you.
is going on.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the great presentation.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, thank you very much. Hope I'm audible, and I think you can see my screen also.
Yeah, please carry.
Yeah. Okay. Myself, Sampada. I'm from Bangalore, working in RNS IT. Would like to present my work on privacy preserving keyword search over hash encrypted data in distributed environment. So basically, okay, this is the agenda that I'm going to speak for the next few slides on introduction related work, hash-based encryption, and index tree generation, decryption, and result discussion. So what is it about the privacy preserving keyword search? So all of us know that in this digital era, like lots and lots of data is being created, and everybody, like whether it is individual or it is an organization, everybody try to push our data onto the cloud. So cloud computing is very much important. And maybe because like to ease the storage and to maintain, we push our data onto the cloud. And when we are pushing the data onto the cloud, security is one such aspect which we need to be concentrated on. Because many a times when we are using public cloud or something like that, the cloud servers are not very trusted. Or even it might be the cloud customers and the cloud servers which might not be in the same trusted domain. And when we are outsourcing the data, it might be exposure to risk. So especially the sensitive data has to be encrypted prior to outsourcing, and the data privacy and is very much important because of unauthorized access. So basically when it is required is everybody, like all of us, we use this search engine to search so many things on. So anything that is not available or not found, immediately we try to find it on the Google. So search engine is very much which is used every time. So one of the most important computation on cloud servers is keyword based search. So you type something, so that becomes the keyword, and you try to search on those things. So whenever we are trying to search things, so you get lot of web pages which are uh, which the Google shows. So of which few of them might be like an individual person who has uploaded the data, or it might be some which the data might contain some sensitive information and all those things. So here the keyword search technique, which allows user to selectively retrieve files of interest, has been widely applied in plain text scenario. So this search, whenever we are trying to do this, the cloud server, so from which search engine we are talking about, is very much important. So we are authorizing, so anybody as a data owner who have pushed their data onto the cloud has authorized the cloud server can able to decrypt their data and can throw away the information. That is how the data is being uh, retrieved to the data, like whoever wanted, that is data user. So in this paper, we have experimented the secure keyword search on hash encrypted data. So these are some of the technology which has already been mentioned in this particular field. So this ranked keyword search and multi-keyword search, and every search engine, all these things have been tried out with many of the researchers already. But many a times the whatever the technique that we have used are not efficient, and it is not secure. So most of the techniques requires additional security measures also, even though we say that it might be secure and all those things, but still, as and when uh, the number of keys and the encryption mechanism increases, so this also be uh, uh, required to enhance the algorithm that is being used. So that's how this lot of this has been done. And here we are concentrating mostly on hash-based encryption. So there are different kinds of encryption: symmetric-based encryption, asymmetric-based encryption, and all those things. So here we are talking explicitly on hash-based encryption. So to understand what is hash-based encryption, this is a initial process, how exactly the hash-based encryption. So M is a message here, and this message we are applying an hashing algorithm. Hashing it, so here exclusively we are talking about the SHA 512 algorithm for hashing. Hashing creates a digital fingerprint of that particular message. The hash of that is being encrypted using the private key of the data owner, and the encrypted hash is being appended to the original message. So the total of this, that is the message along with the encrypted hash of this, is the entity which again encrypted using a symmetric key K, which is then sent or uploaded onto the cloud server. This is how this encryption is being done. Whenever the data user or the client wants to decrypt the data, so the encrypted information will be decrypted using the symmetric key K itself. So the decryption results in the message along with the hash of this, that is encrypted hash of this particular message. So this encrypted hash, you are applying the decryption algorithm by using the public key of the sender. So this, whatever the hash after decryption, we will be obtaining the hash of that. That is the message fingerprint of that. So the receiver is also applying the same algorithm to create the hash of it. If the hash of the original message and the hash of the hash obtained from this decryption, if both of them are same, then it verifies the message is not being, the integrity of the message is being verified. So it shows that if it is same, the message is not being modified. So here, how exactly we are using. So this is what is the algorithm that we are using here. So the data owner, so it is hash modified elliptical cryptography. That is the algorithm that is being used. So in general, the algorithm, so the encryption algorithm that are used are RSA or ECC. So here we are using ECC along with the hash. So the data owner, when he uploads the document, so before he uploads onto the cloud, so whenever he inputs, there are two things that needs to be generated. One is the document needs to be encrypted. Along with that, every document and index tree is also being created. The index tree is, the indexing is must in this keyword search, because for the faster retrieval, index needs to be generated. Index are the one which are most vulnerable. So everybody, like all of us, we are talking about the encrypting of data and all those things. But index is the plain text which is being generated, and that is the most vulnerable thing that is being identified by the researchers for their for security purpose for keyword search. So along with the input document, so when along the encryption mechanism, that needs to be, indexing needs to also be encrypted. So how exactly it is being done? So let us talk about those both of these process. So in this encryption process, we are using hashed ECC. That is hashing. Along with that, the encryption is done using elliptical cryptography. So this hashed encrypted documents are being stored in the cloud server. So this pre-processing. So here, the methodology is there are three sorts of keys that are being generated. One is public key, private key, and secret key. Public key is to encrypt for encryption. So it is being generated. So it is said as alpha K, which is given as beta K star gamma K. Beta K is a private key which is used to decrypt the message. So this usually here in this research work, like whatever we are proposing here, in this we are randomly generating some number which is in the finite field of this. Then that is multiplied by gamma K. Gamma K is the secret key. So secret key is alpha K, beta K plus the PC. PC is point on the curve. So since we are using elliptical cryptography, PC is the arbitrary number, arbitrary point, which is being considered, one of the point which is being considered on the elliptic curve. So then the encryption is being done something like the original data, that is the message, are converted, that is it is being vectorized as the affine point on the curve, and it is being encrypted. Encryption is the encrypted information is comprises of two ciphertext. One is the ciphertext is K into PC. K is once again some random number which is being considered between 1 and n minus 1. So if we are considering Gn, that is some the field, then K is some number which is between 1 to n minus 1, and PC is once again the a point on the curve, and which is being appended with the gamma k, that is secret key. This is one of the ciphertext. The ciphertext 2 is the original message plus the again the number k into alpha k plus gamma k. This is how the two ciphertexts are being generated. So encrypted data is then uploaded to cloud server securely. So the next thing is index tree generation. Tree is generated using entropy based index tree generation. So entropy based is a measure from CFI value. So this in general, if we want to talk about this entropy based, this is something like an association value that is being considered, and something like a decision tree, a tree structure is generated. So how exactly we are considering the entropy is something like information gain. So this is, we are talking about how close the words are being related to. That's how the entropy is being calculated, and the average of information content. So when the search is being done, so this is the algorithm that is being given for the entropy of closed frequent item set. So the how close the words are being used, so that's how it is, the tree is being generated here. So whenever the search is being done, so based on the keyword search and the words that are there in the documents are being similarity index is being identified, and how closely it is associated with. So based on that, it is being traversed. So decryption on the receiver side, the decrypts the ciphertext using the same MECC algorithm. So the original data is being obtained by using the ciphertext 2, which contains the original message minus beta k, that is the private key, into ciphertext 1 minus gamma k, that is the secret key. So gamma k is subtracted as of the message and obtained this original message. So
sorry to interrupt you, but we have last 2 minutes.
Sorry, sir. So this is the final thing. So encryption time and decryption time are being referred along with this RSA and ECC. So this is a hash-based encryption mechanism that we have used. So all of them are compared. So the hash-based encryption mechanism works a little better than the existing RSA and ECC. So as the number of records increases, so we can see that there is a slight modification with respect to hash-based PPKs. So even the index construction time, that is even though it is a tree, the hash-based induction, index construction is also much better when compared to the RSA and ACC. So the results are also verified with respect to query retrieval time. So when the search engine, the response time basically, so and the security level and the key generation time. So in all these things, the hash-based PPKs work much better when compared to RSA and ECC. And finally, the conclusion is, in this paper, we have proposed a secure and privacy preserving keyword search over hash encrypted cloud data. The proposed hash modified ECC algorithm is compared with the existing ECC and RSA in terms of encryption time, decryption time, key generation, and security level. So in all these things, the proposed algorithm worked much better. So the secure keyword search retrieval can even process in multiple cloud, that is in the distributed environment also. So these are some of the references. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ms. So to have practiced the, as you are saying that the proposed algorithm is better than the two algorithms. So do you have such and such result, or can the test data on which you can take this conclusion?
So this particular experiment has been conducted on patient health records there, which contain patient ID, patient name, patient that illness, gender, location, all these things. So wherein actually the patient name and patient address needs to be secured. So only the illness, only the relevant attributes can only be shared. Not all the attributes can be shared here. So privacy preserving plays an important role in those cases.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All the best.
Yeah.
Please
Thank you
proceed.
so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the great presentation. And now I'm moving forward for the next presenter, Vijay Makwana, and he is presenting on Classroom Beyond Walls, perspective of students and teachers on pedagogy and features of MOOCs. The presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Yes. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you see the presentation?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Vijay Makwana, and with my colleague, Dr. Pranav Desai, we have worked on this one research topic, that is Classroom Beyond Walls, perspectives of students and teachers on pedagogy and features of MOOCs. Now, I would like to start with this one quote by one great educational philosopher, that is John Dewey. And he said that if you teach today's children the way you used to teach yesterday's, you are robbing them of their tomorrow. Okay, so it's very important that in the field of teaching, that you constantly upgrade the methodology and also the way you teach students. Now, this is very important because after this COVID outbreak and then subsequent lockdown, the field of education has undergone a massive change. Okay, so now technology, which was on the parallel track of teaching, now has become a part of mainstream education. And 10 to 15 years back, when MOOCs was just an emerging phenomenon, and only the premier universities were introducing MOOC as a supplementary, education or supplementary input. Now, almost all the leading universities and even small-scale universities, they have made MOOCs as a part of their curriculum. It's something which is now supporting the mainstream education. So in this particular research paper, this particular study, our attempt was to see that to what extent these MOOCs are successful in meeting the needs of the learners. Okay, and I would like to start this by quoting Daphne Koller, who is a Stanford professor and founder of Coursera. She said that high quality education provided by MOOCs can be a significant factor in opening the doors to opportunity, even among the college graduates. So MOOC, which was an idea 10 years back, it has become an industry now. And it's not just limited to one platform. Now the learners have a number of options when it comes to learning by self, autonomous learning. Okay, and I would like to show this by showing this graph. This is was given in the Coursera report of the year 2021. Now here it's about the number of registered learners on Coursera, and you can see it in the year 2016. There were 21 million registered users on Coursera, and by the year 2021, you can see there is fourfold growth in the number of registered users on this. That is 92 million users on Coursera. So this shows that there is a tremendous growth in the number of MOOC users. Another figure I would like to cite here, you can see here the number of enrollment on Coursera, that is 189 million different courses been taken by the students. So this shows that there has been phenomenal growth in the number of MOOC takers. But then the question arises that though the students have options of various MOOC platforms, and many MOOC platforms, they offer free courses, okay, or courses at a very nominal rate now, but to what extent are they able to meet the learner's requirement? Okay, so here in this particular paper, the idea was to analyze or review these different MOOC platforms in terms of their features, their instructional design, the content, the assessment, user satisfaction, and all those things. And for this particular thing, we selected this 5 different MOOC platforms, that is Coursera, which is one of the leading ones, FutureLearn, edX, Ellison, and Udemy. So these are the various studies we refer to for this, and here this one researcher who tried to know about the user's experience, MOOC experience, and he included total 21 participants, first time and the experienced MOOC participants, and they were asked to create blogs and write the review about the experience of using the blogs, and the finding shows that that one of the important things in from the user's point of view is the instructional design, the way the course runs, and the quality of the content. Also, it was found that one of the things which students consider is the assessment. Okay, so this is one study, and apart from this, there are many other studies, but I'll skip it as of now. Pranav sir, can we have the next slide, please? Next, sir. This is another study we refer to. Okay, so here I would like to also talk about the Carroll's model of school learning, which he suggested keeping in mind the face-to-face learning then. And based on this, after our study, we have proposed a new model called the I model of designing the MOOC, which I'll be talking about later on. This was a part of our literature review. Pranav sir, can we have the next slide? Next, please. So this is what we did, as I talked about. The idea was to review the features, instructional design, content, and user satisfaction. And for this, what we did, we both have been teaching, I and my fellow researcher, we have been teaching at Charotar University of Science and Technology in Gujarat State, India. And in our institute, we selected 250 students. Now, most of the students, they undertake at least 4 to 5 different MOOCs as a part of their curriculum. So what we did was we designed a questionnaire, and through Google Forms, we took their responses, and that questionnaire consisted of the questions or the responses regarding the instructional design of the MOOCs they are taking, the content of it, the assessment, and their feedback about what can be better in the platform they are taking the courses from. Apart from this, in order to get some more qualitative data, we interviewed 13 students out of that the target population. And we also selected 10 teachers and interviewed them about their perspective about the effectiveness of those different MOOC platforms. So this was the methodology or the process of collecting the data. And now I would like to share the results or the findings of it. Sir, can we have the next slide, please? Okay, sir, next, please, sir. Next. Okay, so this was the result, and we found that all these 5 platforms are popular among the students, but it was found that Coursera and FutureLearn were more popular among the students. Okay, now some courses are definitely a part of their curriculum, so the teachers, their course instruction, they ask them to take these courses on specific platforms. But I've also seen this trend among the students where students take up some courses on their own because they want to enrich their learning. So we were also interested in knowing that what makes them go for that extra learning and what makes them select those specific platforms. And we found that one of the reasons for the popularity of Coursera and FutureLearn was the user interface. That's what we got to know during the interviews of the learners. One more thing we found that both the students and the teacher opined that the Coursera has better structure of courses and effective assessment methods. One of the things we found that students said that Coursera had more rigorous this assessment method, where at the end of every unit there used to be a quiz, and that quiz used to be different from different learners. So it was not the same quiz for all the learners where there's a possibility of duplication or copying the answer. But in case of Coursera, we could see that there were different or varied questions. In case of the other platforms, we could see that there was the same quiz assigned to the different learners, which promotes some copying also among the students if it's assigned on the part of the teacher. Another thing we found that considering the partners of the various platforms, students and teachers are more oriented towards Coursera and edX, which are successful in hosting courses from the top universities of the world. We could see that this 2 platforms, especially this Coursera and edX, they are hosting the courses from this Ivy League universities. For example, on Coursera, we could see that this one course which is on academic writing, which is offered by Stanford. Now, this really adds value to the students' profile. We could see this 2 particular platforms, they were hosting courses from this leading top-notch universities, and that was one of the reasons of students and teachers selecting these 2 platforms. Also, the analysis of the data revealed that the students preferred features like offline download of the content, which was not possible in case of all the platforms, but especially in case of this FutureLearn and Coursera, we could see that students, they were able to download the videos and can watch it at their convenience. Also, diversity of courses and graded and effective presentation of the content was some features which went in favor of the Coursera and FutureLearn. In terms of assessment, it was found that the different platforms have adopted different methods. Coursera and edX have integrated peer grading and review method where fellow learners anonymously grade peer assignments. Now here, in order to promote some interaction or more involvement on the part of the learners, we could see that Coursera, they have gone for the peer review of the of the assignment. Now this has both an advantage and a disadvantage also, because the disadvantage would be if the learners assignments or the performances is graded by the peer learners, it may not be the ideal or the quality assessment of it. On the other hand, one of the advantage of this peer assessment would be there would be more clarity and involvement on the part of the learner. So it can be seen both as an advantage or disadvantage. Also, some of the platforms we could see that it emphasized on students giving review about this particular unit. So at the end of each unit, the students were asked to give their responses regarding the the learning, and that resulted into a lot of discussion. And we could see that the students liked this section where they were asked to discuss, give the review about the learning which has taken place in that particular module. So I would say that that's one of the good practices if MOOC can adopt. And based on our findings of this particular MOOC platforms and their reviews, this is the new model we would like to propose. We would call it the I model of MOOC design, which is adopted from.
We have last 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Which is based on Carroll's model of school learning. But now, since we are talking about the education system, which is a blend of offline and online, so this is what I would like to propose, that before designing the instructional material, especially the MOOC courses, the creators should identify the learner's aptitude. They should also consider the cross-cultural issues, because this MOOC platforms and the content on it is accessed by the students all over the world. So it's not one specific group. So they have to definitely consider the cross-cultural issues and also the academic needs of the students. And based on that, they should provide an experience where the focus is on the learner's effort, ability to understand instruction. Also, since MOOC platforms, the idea behind that is autonomous or self-learning. So they have to absolutely simplify it and make learning lucid, because the learner is learning on his or her own. So they have to be extremely cautious about the simplicity of the content. Also, collaborative support. If there are technical issues, glitches, there should be easy access to the help. And also the learner experience, something really very important while designing the MOOC content, I would say. And that would result into good academic achievements, professional development, because some students, they take these courses to add value to their resume. So this is the new proposed I model, we would say, of MOOC design, which can be of some help to all those information system designers, okay, and planning to widen their reach of this MOOC platforms. So can we have the next slide, please? So this is the conclusion, and I won't discuss this in detail, but I would say the study of this type can be the prime benefit of it can be the information system development for remote education and their business operations, are as the help of digital technology, students maintain the continuity of the study, because MOOCs are no longer a part of just supplementary input. It has become a part of mainstream education. And when we make MOOCs a part of mainstream education, we have to ensure that it is as good as the face-to-face learning experience. Okay, and since technology is something which has brought massive changes on all the fields across the world, I would say education, in the field of education, it has tremendous possibilities to contribute. Thank you. That's all from my side, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vijay. Do you have any specific reason for selecting Coursera for this research?
Yes, sir. The reason is what I've seen that, before I started this, from last 2-3 years, we can see that MOOCs have grown like anything. And there are various other this online platforms. We also have some more platforms, but those platforms are not that popular among the students and the teachers also. So mostly what the platforms we considered are the MOOC platforms which are popular, and the courses which are undertaken by the students of our institute, because that was the target group. And before we ask for the data from them, we had to ensure that this particular platforms are being used by the target audience.
Okay. So I think in India, there are many courses are available through the Swayam and PTL portals, and they are also providing the same facility with the placement of those. That's why I was asking. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Vijay, and
Thank you, sir.
wish you a good luck for further studies. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear author, for the great contribution and a great presentation. Now, moving for our closing remarks, I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and great contribution in this session, and all the participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of whole team, thank you for your support during this webinar, and we will be happy to have you all in the next version of this conference in 2023. Now, all the participants will be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days, whether all the papers have been already forwarded to the streamer. And the publication will be live within 6 months, so kindly cooperate with the team ISBM 2022. Now, I also like to thank our session chair for chairing the session. So there is a token of appreciation on behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and ISBM 2022 to the chair of this session.
Thank you, Harsh, and thank you, GR Foundation and KCCI for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presentation. Now I request to all of you to turn on your camera to get some quick snapshot and make this conference more memorable. If it is possible, you can turn on your camera.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, sir, and thanks to all the participants.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you.